Dear friends, today we have under the pod series a coach excellence conversation. And in fact, this is the very first conversation under the coach excellence series. And I have Miss Aruna Sanagavaram all the way from Japan. So that's a very interesting experience for me as well. And Miss Aruna Sanagavaram is on the journey to her PCC accreditation, and she also has recently founded Swadhyay.life. You can check that website to know more about what she's trying to do with this or through this organization. So we have the honor of having her for a short conversation today, and I have a very crisp bunch of 6 questions for her, of which a couple of them have been selected by herself. And let's see how this conversation goes. And I'm sure this conversation will have a lot of takeaways for we all coaches. So without any further delay, allow me to jump in. So very first question for Aruna. What is coaching for you?
First of all, thank you, Kiran, for having me here, for calling me. And you put a lot of responsibility on myself, because this being the first, I think, video on this Coach Excellence series, and I'll try to be as crisp as you said. Coming to your question, you said, what is coaching to me? So if I'd asked 3-4 years back, I would not have answered, this way. But over the years with practice, now I would say very confidently, coaching for me, or in my view, is a very special conversation, where there is trust and intimacy between the two participants, and the non-neutral and judgmental space we as coaches provide for the client helps the client think beyond their situation and look towards possible and positive outcomes. What I feel the most important thing in coaching is that it helps you move forward without you having to lay down and tell your own story, all the details of the story. And also, a coaching conversation, in my experience, helps to move from that superficial level of conversation to deeper reflection, and help people get their meaning and purpose, and also bring in sustainable and holistic changes. So in a nutshell, I would say coaching helps you connect the dots between why you do and what you do, and how you can use this emerging learning to evolve and grow as a person.
Great. That's a lot of insightful, you can say, takeaways for me also as a coachee. The keywords that stood out for the benefit of the listeners: trust and intimacy. Such an important thing for everyone. Being non-judgmental, I think, supports we all. And moving forward from superficial to a deeper space, I think, is something that most of us look forward to. And last but not the least, connecting the dots. I think famously remembered with Steve Jobs, it makes so much sense. So let's jump to the next question. Who benefits from having a coach?
I would say, as a coach, if you ask me, anyone and everyone, but just to explain more a little bit that, specific circumstances, so that it will be more useful to all people who don't know coaching. So I would say any individual at the outset who wants to deepen his or her self-awareness, it can be for personal and professional development. Someone who wants to expand his or her thinking to look at the bigger picture. Someone who benefits from support of a coach to keep them accountable so that they can reach their plans and goals. Those who want to come out of their comfort zone and reach their higher potential. So, and most important for me, what I've realized and experienced in my various stay in different countries and interactions with different people was, also most often when a person climbs the corporate ladder, they need a safe space to reflect and develop awareness about their motives, values, preferences, and how and why they are showing up as leaders. So it helps them actually smoothen their journey and transition into a much, I would say, better individual and a leader as well. So I would say a coach provides this safe space in the organizational context.
Fantastic. One more, a bunch of takeaways definitely for me. I'll point out the key takeaways for me, for the benefit of all. You mentioned it's for anyone and everyone. It resonates so much with me. And deepening the self-awareness, I think, creates such a larger space for everyone. And you mentioned also for those who are looking for a safe space, it's a much sought after space, I'm sure. And moving from comfort zone to a zone of higher potential, you bet this is something that majority in the professional space and even in the personal space are wanting to do. And I think any support coming in this space, I think is much welcome in today's day and time. So with that, let's move to the third question. One myth about coaching that you wish to burst.
Yeah, you said one, but I felt two different questions. They're related, so I would address them both. Like when I said I moved to coaching, one of the question from my very good educated friends also is that, hey, what are you coaching us now? You know, do I need to have a problem to go to a coach? And I'm not that successful to go to a coach. You see, so and also same related question: isn't coaching only for senior managers and leaders? Why do we need coaches? So for me, all this is related. Like basically, they're questioning that okay, we have not reached to a level or probably in their context. So why do we need coaches? And I would say a coach is not just to help you get that promotion or solve your organizational contextual problem to reach you. Coaching is never that. You also, as a coach, know that we just only provide that space and help them dig deeper, get the meaning for themselves, question their probably beliefs or perceptions or limiting beliefs, and actually help them or empower them to be a better version of themselves. And this better version can be anything. It can be in the professional life or the personal life. That's what I can say about this myth.
Got it. Few things that stood out in this for me, that you don't have to have a problem to come to a coach or to leverage presence of a coach, and the often assumed aspect of you need to be successful first to have a coach, or you need to be a leader or a senior leader in an organization to be eligible or to benefit from having a coach. So these definitely stand out. Yeah, you're sharing something.
Just to add to this, Kiran, I just read this sentence somewhere and I thought suddenly it came to me and I want to share it with you. That it says coaching helps the good and the best get even better. So I think that encompasses coaching itself for all of us.
Fantastically captured. The good and the best is often seen as that's enough. But when the good and the best also can get better, why not? So let's move on this note to the next question. One coaching memory of yours that you would like to share with the audience.
Just to make sure that we are not actually breaking any client confidential.
Yeah, that's important.
General thing which I observed, and with an example, I'll tell you that, one of my very good friends came to me when I initially started. I moved from a different model of coaching to a transformational coaching model. Came to me and said that I'm having this problem from the last few years. He's a very intelligent gentleman, good in his, very knowledgeable in his field, and had been a fairly good, seen fairly good success for initial 15 to 20 years. Then he has trouble adjusting in the workplace. He says, I want to improve my performance in meetings. That's what he came with. And then when we dig deeper, and finally, surprisingly, after 2-3 weeks, it has come to why he shows up in the meetings or in some other context as he's showing up. And it all boiled down to his need for recognition. From where to where it has come, and it was a wonderful journey for us. And from there, we took it up to a next level. And I have to add that I really am happy with all these addressed. He is now moved to a better place, and he's now actually able to adjust and I would say perform professionally and personally as well.
That's fantastic. Great. Because often I hear this self-discovery as something that happens so much and so often with all the coaches. I think because probably because the kind of a space that is provided for them and the kind of a depth that they reach, self-discovery, I think, is but logical and comes as a pleasant surprise. But I think it's a natural process also for the coaches who has the honor and privilege to witness this happen with the coaches very often. So that's
Yes.
a beautiful example. Yeah, you're sharing something.
I just need to add, when we say self-discovery, sometimes it can be quite, like I would say, stressful, or coaches are not ready to move to this zone. As we have earlier discussed also, right? That self-discovery or moving out of your comfort zone. So
Yes.
sometimes this discovery can lead to some unpleasant facts as well. But that's all is about, like, when we say coaching, okay, we discovered this, now how to move. It's not about why am I showing up like this. So I would feel that's the beauty of the coaching, self-discovery and using it to move forward.
I think at this stage, it definitely resonates as to what one misses by not leveraging coaching as an area that could support them, because we end of the day we all have limited time and a short life. So let's move on with the next question. Would you like to share in brief about your coaching journey so far?
Yeah, I would say I'd come into coaching by accident. I was an academician, and as an academician and as a admin head of the department, mentored to hundreds of students as well as faculty, new faculty and all. And we did do a couple of a different model of coaching to our MPhil students and all. But then, what I realized was that when you advise or mentor someone, you're coming from a place of your own experience, and it is not your client's experience. Sometimes it does not resonate, it doesn't help them go deeper, and the results are not actually sustainable or long lasting. It's the same, like I used to do a couple of corporate training assignments as well, especially in the leadership development space and emotional intelligence. And we see that initially the first 2 weeks it would be all that enthusiasm, and then slowly that effect wears off, and even studies have shown that. So that's where I started thinking, and this coaching then was a natural progression for me from that point. And as my mentor says, I believe the client is the master of his story, and we as coaches should be master of process and help the client reach where he wants. And I should say I'm still in the mastering journey, and I have recently taken that dip into the pool and started my own coaching organization called Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is the Sanskrit word for self-discovery, and I believe in that, where self-discovery in all aspects, it leads to basically know who you are, what are your beliefs, who are you as a person, and how you can relate to the situation around you. So that's my intention in starting this and to help people. So I actually do more. I would say it's a mix of a lot of pro bono initiatives, community initiatives, as well as normal, uh, I would say, corporate clients, etc.
Great to get to know about this. I think we can call it as a beautiful accident in this case, the move to coaching field. And I think you validly pointed out the limitations of being an advisor and a mentor, which often doesn't work, and which still, that's why it's considered as one step below the coaching space, because the it's each one is different. So the mentor's experience and suggestions might have worked for the mentor, but may or may not work for the mentee. Whereas in the coaching, as you pointed out, the client is the master of his or her journey. I think pretty much summarizes when they take it upon themselves, the journey where they can reach with full commitment and drive, because those decisions came from within. So all the very best to you on the new initiative. And with that, let's move to the last question of this conversation. Given an opportunity to share just one advice, what would it be for the wannabe coaches?
The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this question was, coaching is not problem solving.
Okay.
We as new coaches might feel that, we need to make the client experience the aha moment, or could we move towards the transformation? That I feel is that we are taking pressure on ourselves and also following our agenda, not the client's agenda. So my take would be going with an open mind and letting that conversation flow naturally towards the goal of the session is very effective and helpful to the clients. And
Fantastic.
I
I
would say
think
it's also a mutually enriching experience, So I would advise go with the flow, enjoy the moment. Most important, being in the now moment with the client is always the done thing. It will help you.
fantastic. I think in every line there was something to take away there. When you mentioned about coaching is not problem solving, and do not take the monkey on your shoulder, and not seeking aha moments or transformation. I agree to that, where it is the coach's journey. So if it happens, fantastic for the coachee. If it doesn't happen, still fine. Last, you mentioned also about not having any of our agenda, that is the coach's agenda, and just allowing it to be a mutual enriching experience. So these definitely are pearls of wisdom. Coming from, I can see it coming from experience, and I would wish all the very best to you in your future endeavors, definitely through the Swadhyay.life, your initiative. And I'm sure many would benefit from your coaching conversations as well as your presence in the coaching space. I wish you all the very best for that, Aruna. We'll keep in touch some other day, maybe some other conversation. We will meet again soon. Thank you
I would
very
love
much.
to. Thank you very much for having me here and good luck with these conversations. Looking forward to more conversations from other coaches too.
Same here. Thanks a ton for having this journey begin with a bang, I would say, because for me, the paper is here, that my notes sheet is full of takeaways, even by the middle of the conversation itself. Thank you very much. All the very best. Take care.